The internet has made it easier than ever to start a business. Succeeding on the internet, now that's another story. The big question is, what are those who are succeeding doing differently? This podcast has the answers. Welcome to the Marketing Matrix podcast. I'm your host, Lisanne Murphy, and I hope that everyone is having a fantastic day. When I'm recording it today, this is a Friday. It is the last day of July. I cannot believe that July is over. I just had an awesome lunch with a friend up in Heber, Utah. Heber, Utah is a canyon that is up. So I drove up a canyon drive to go visit this friend for lunch, and man, it is just so gorgeous. It's so sunny. It's so nice to hear here today. And but when you're listening to this, it is September. I cannot even believe that it is going to be September when this episode is released. Hope that everyone has had a great summer and that you're excited to get your kids back in school and maybe get your routines back, or maybe not. I don't know what's going on based on the state of the world wherever you're at. So wherever you are, I hope that you're healthy and happy. And I am just stoked to be talking with you today. So as of today, we are 121 days until the end of the year. And what a year it has been, right? I mean, man, if you would have told me at the beginning of 2020 what this year was going to be like, I would be shocked. When I was driving today, I was thinking about, okay, what are all the trips that I was planning on going on this year that were canceled for one reason or another? I was supposed to go to Italy this year, Colorado, Georgia, Mexico. I was supposed to go to Colorado a couple times. And there was probably something else. But anyway, there was a ton. But it allowed me to be here and to focus on thinking and content in the business. And I've absolutely been in love with that process. And it has just been so fun. And I can't wait for the rest of the year. So 121 days left. So this is right around the time when people either make the decision to hustle hard for the rest of the year or throw in the towel. And I just want to help you think about, even though 9 months of the year are gone, there's still so much more that can be done, 3 whole months, September, October, November, actually four whole months. I mean, that is a third of the year. I really hope that everyone is taking this time seriously to be able to figure out what they need to do to be productive and serious in their business and figure out what it's going to take to make the biggest difference. So when I look over what I've accomplished in any 3-month segment of my year, I mean, looking at the end of the year, when I look at this year, these were some of the things that I had the opportunity to do. So my team and I, we've automated so many of the processes happening behind our podcast, this podcast, and creating the content and pushing that out. We've tripled the size of my Facebook agency. We've launched an entire new business with a friend of mine. And there's just some incredible things that you can do in 3 months. So I hope that you are not going to throw in the towel, but you are going to hustle and recognize that the rest of this year can bring opportunities and that 2020 is not over yet. I know that, I remember when I was talking to my brother at the beginning of the year, he was just like, well, my year's over. And I didn't blame him. I mean, so many things are shifted and changed. I mean, the poor guy, he was graduating with a master's degree and his graduation was canceled. I mean, that's dramatic, guys. And I know there's so many things that have happened to many of you out there, but I just want to make sure that you know that you have every opportunity to turn this last bit of the year into whatever success that you see. So I hope that you do that. So, all right. Okay. Enough of this mindset stuff. I just get really, really excited about mindsets and that sort of thing. Today, I am so excited about this podcast, guys. Seriously, I have been thinking about this topic for literally a couple weeks. I mean, I have been really, really battling with this. And so what's the topic? Today, we are diving into the age-old battle of organic versus paid advertising. Dun, dun, dun. So excited. What? Organic versus paid. I know it's a battle. I want to settle that battle today on the podcast. All right. You excited? I'm excited to jump in. I hope you're excited to jump in. I am very, very excited about this. So first, I thought it would be really important to just talk about why is it a battle in the first place? What are some of the things that people say about organic and paid traffic in this battle? Because let's be honest, out there, people are always pitting those two against each other. So here are some of the things that I have heard as I've been either in Facebook groups listening to chatter or talking to people on the phone as people are asking for my help with Facebook ads or whatever it is. Organic works, paid doesn't. Or the exact opposite. Paid works and organic doesn't. Okay, well, I'm hearing it from both sides, so which is it, guys? Or organic takes time, whereas paid takes money. You do what works based on the resources that you have. Okay, is that true? Does organic take time and paid take money? We're going to be diving into that one specifically because there are some myths and some misnomers that are out there about what resources are required for organic and paid advertising. Here's another one. Organic brings better quality, but a smaller quantity of leads, whereas paid is really the only way to scale, but it brings in lower quality people into your business. Okay, so is that true? Like organic is less and but they're better people, whereas paid is more, but they're less qualified or lower lifetime value clients? Okay, interesting argument. Here's another. Paid traffic is the only way to get in front of new people. Okay, that's an interesting argument that with organic, you can only work in your sphere, but with paid, it's the only way to get in front of new people. Ready for another one? You have to pay to play. Okay, for you to really play in your business, you have to pay marketing dollars in paid advertising. Okay, things to think about. Have you heard any of these? I hear these all the time, and I'm not even done. Here's another one. You shouldn't use paid ads until you hit 10K months. Okay. Thoughts there? Like your revenue needs to be at a certain place for you to do paid ads. Is that true? Organic is for people that can't afford paid traffic. Okay. Is that true? Is organic poor man's marketing is essentially the real question there. And here's another. You cannot scale without paid traffic. Okay, and we touched on that one briefly above. But these are some of the things, guys, that I hear all the time. Guys, I talk to people, like dozens of people every week that are approaching me on my sales calls or in Messenger or over email, asking me questions, asking for help with paid traffic. And everyone comes to me with a preconceived mindset of the relationship between organic traffic and paid traffic. So I think it's a really, really important topic for us to dive into and really talk about today, because I know that if you are a marketer, you have heard at least one, if not two, if not three of those particular arguments. And here's the thing that might be controversial. For me, I agree to almost everything above. Organic versus paid can be very, very divisive. People usually tend to be either hardcore organic or hardcore paid strategies, and they hold strong to their conviction. And they talk about which is better. But what's interesting is seeing someone whose platform is organic, using organic advertising, do paid advertising, or vice versa. And when I see it, like for example, my good buddy Andrew Carosi, he's a huge proponent of organic marketing, but he uses paid ads, and people roast him on his ads. They're like, "You're so good at organic marketing, why are you using paid?" Okay. When people say stuff like that, it's because they have a preconceived notion, they have a belief going on in their head of the relationship between paid and organic traffic that is false. It is completely false. Okay, it is not a hypocrite to do both. Okay, you do not have to choose one or the other. So here's the thing. There is some truth to all of these statements, myths, beliefs, whatever we choose to call them. And all of the statements pit the two organic and paid strategies against each other. but none of them really get to the crux of what organic and paid traffic really is about. Okay, they're all missing the point. So I want to share a couple of ideas and then a couple truths with you today on this podcast. So the first, I want to dive into the first idea, and that has everything to do with your message. Okay, so idea number one is, what is your message? All right. So I was talking to Josh Forty on my podcast a few weeks ago, and we were actually talking about this battle. I'm really excited for his episode to come out because he talks brilliantly about this battle, and I'm going to reiterate some of the things that he said. He said something really interesting and so true. He said, paid traffic is simply paying to have your message placed in certain places. Okay. So organic traffic is putting your message in certain places, and paid traffic is paying to put your message in certain places. Now, thinking about traffic like this is really, really important. That all traffic is getting your message in front of people. That's really all that it is. And there's different methods to do that. There are free methods and there are paid methods to do that, but it is all about your message. So here's the thing. If your message is not clear, then putting paid traffic behind it is not going to help. Okay. Whenever I'm on sales calls with people and they've never run paid traffic before, I always ask a lot of questions about how old is their offer? How proven is their offer? Have they run traffic through their funnel? Is their funnel or their website, is it proven to convert? At what rate does it convert? Because here's the thing. Paid traffic, Facebook ads will not fix a broken system. Okay, I'll say that again. Facebook ads will not fix a broken system. I tell that to almost every single person that I get on a sales call with. Okay, a lot of people think that, like, oh my goodness, my business is struggling. All I need to do is put some ads behind it and it will explode. Guys, not necessarily. If your message is, I mean, it could happen, but if your message is not clear, then that is most likely not the case. So an example that Josh Forty gave on the podcast, which I really liked, is he was just like, look, okay, let's say you have a match. Okay. And you have a match and you strike it. And so it has the fire at the end, and you use it to start a bonfire. Okay. And that bonfire grows and there's bigger fire. And let's say like that's your organic efforts. Okay. You're putting your message, you're testing it, you're getting it to work, you're building that fire, you're building that flame. He's like, when you put paid traffic on there, when you put paid traffic into the mix, he compared it to gasoline. When you put gasoline on a bonfire, what's going to happen? That thing is just going to, it's going to explode. It's going to have explosive power. Okay. Now let's say you take that match and you don't put it on the kindling and you don't blow on it and you don't nurture that flame, but you just pour a bunch of gasoline right on the burning match in the driveway. What's going to happen? That match is going to go out. If your fire of your business, if your leads, if your message is not strong enough, that paid traffic is going to extinguish that fire and it's not going to work. Okay, that is super important to understand. Super important to understand. So idea one is it is more about your message than it is about the type of traffic that you are running. Okay, super key. Okay, so idea number two is all about your systems. Okay, idea number one, messaging. Idea number two is about your system and dialing in that system. Okay, so I've been learning so much from the great Chris Williams on this epic, in his epic elite agency mastermind group. And he says this over and over when it comes to organic versus paid lead gen strategies. And I absolutely love what he has to say. He says, how you really win at paid traffic is taking the time to dial in a repeatable and predictable system organically, and then working to automate that through paid traffic. Mind blown. Let me explain. Okay, so people often think that paid ads are the magic sauce to scaling a business. And for the most part, that's true. You really do need paid ads to scale a business, but they are only the magic sauce and not a bottomless pit of setting your money on fire if they are bringing you sales in profitably. Okay. So that might seem like, duh, like Ads only work if they're profitable. People often don't think that far. They just think that they need ads. But how do you get them profitable? Okay. You've got to have an organic system in place, okay? You would actually be shocked to hear how many people approach me in Messenger on a weekly basis wanting to run Facebook ads to a new audience, new offer, new funnel without any plan for organic outreach or retargeting with emails or anything that are the foundation to making sure that the ads work in the first place. And it's not your fault. It's not their fault. If you've ever had those thoughts, it really is not your fault. Facebook ads really are so glorious and so amazing, but there are things that need to be in place for the ads to work. And dialing in an organic system that can be automated with paid ads is super, super key to do that. Okay. So here's the big news flash to people that are in the internet world wanting to use Facebook ads. And this is something I joke around about, but like, I think it's important. I've got to get it in a podcast episode. Newsflash, just because you have a funnel, a product, or an ad does not mean the universe owes you money. Okay. It's the same like with brick and mortar, guys. Like if you have a brick and mortar store where you have taken the time to set that up, just because you have a store, just because you have a restaurant, does not mean that you're going to make money. Okay, there are certain things that need to be done with the location, the branding, the messaging, the customer outreach, the partnerships, the cost of goods. All of these things need to be dialed in for that brick and mortar place to be profitable. Online business is no different. I should probably do an entire podcast episode on relating Facebook ads and an online business to brick and mortar. I'll put that in my notes of podcast episodes to do eventually, but it's the truth. Okay, so here's the thing. I want to share some truths about organic and paid traffic that would make a world of difference if people understood these. Okay, so there's two main truths that I want to share here. Okay, the first is that paid and organic are promoting the same message and offer. Okay, paid and organic are promoting the same message and offer. Paid may be slightly different due to advertising policies and you can't say certain things, but the core of the message and the core of the outcome and the call to action is all the same. Okay. Truth number two, both take time and money. Okay. Paid traffic and organic traffic both take time and money. Okay. Earlier we said that organic takes time and paid takes money. Here's the news flash. They both take time and money. Okay. People are always surprised when I bring people into my agency. People are always surprised when they get to paid traffic and they see how much time it actually takes. Now, organic, it takes time to create the content, prospect people, build relationships, and make the sale. But it also takes money when you decide to automate that process and pay for an executive assistant or a social media manager to do the organic for you. Hey, just like this podcast is an organic strategy for me, but it takes a lot of money to keep it going. So it is an organic strategy that takes time and money, okay? Paid traffic, traditional paid traffic like Facebook ads, it also takes time to create those ads, to test, to iterate, test, iterate, test, iterate, and money is spent along that process of testing and iteration. I have never had a client that isn't a little bit surprised to see how much work paid ads actually are to get them to be effective. So if paid ads and organic ads or organic methods, if paid and organic methods take time and money and are promoting the same message, well, then that really creates the real question. The question shouldn't be about which. The question should be, how do you know when to do one or the other? Okay, how do you know how and when to do each? Okay, because the fact of the matter is that you should do both. Organic efforts allow you to test messages, build brand fans, create repeat customers, and work in a cheaper way if your business is newer. Whereas paid traffic allows you to test quickly, get in front of people you would never find otherwise, and ultimately scale your business. So just to create an example of this, so I actually expense my podcast creation as an agency expense for marketing. Why? Because it's an organic strategy to grow my paid advertising agency. I could take that same amount of money I spend to produce the podcast with my team and put that into ads, and I might have a similar or even better revenue results. But as soon as I take those ads off the marketplace, it's as if I don't exist. The podcast, on the other hand, gives me a footprint, a platform, an opportunity to create a following and customers. So I choose to put my resources there and into paid ads. They serve different functions in my business. My money and time that go into the podcast serve a different function than paid. It's not about battling them and pitting them against each other. It's about what strategy am I implementing in my business at any given time, and which strategy, organic or paid methods, is going to fit. So again, here is the real hardcore nugget of gold. Instead of which one should you do, a better question is when. When should you do each? So I put together a brief list for organic and paid for you to think about, for you to know when to use organic versus paid traffic methods. Okay, you ready? This is good. This is gold. You ready? Okay, so you use organic marketing methods when you are proving a new offer. You use organic methods when you have more time than money. You use organic methods when you are looking to build an audience of brand fans. You use organic methods when you are working on figuring out the right systems to put in place in your business. Okay, those are all reasons when you should use organic. Now, on the flip side, when should you use paid? Okay, you should use paid methods when you have more money than time. You should use paid methods when you are looking to quickly test a concept. Okay, I did this with my buddy Ian just in the last few weeks. We launched an entire brand solely on paid traffic, and we learned a year's worth of business lessons in 1 month because we dumped a ton of money into ads to get people on the phone to learn from them and sell them something. You use paid methods when you have a short timeline. You use paid methods when you are ready to scale your business and automate your organic process. And you use paid methods when you have systems in your business that can handle the growth. Guys, I can't even stress the importance of this last one. I have one of the businesses that has been with my agency for over a year, about a year and a half now. I've literally broken their business 3 times with paid ads where they've been like, shut off the ads. Like, we're out of inventory. We can't handle it anymore. Like, we've broken their business and their systems. We're to the point where like they can't keep up with inventory. They need to buy an entire warehouse to keep up with it. It's so exciting and so cool. But we literally broke their business. Okay. So you have to make sure you have the systems and the capacities to bring someone in. There's a client that is looking to sign with me and my buddy Ian to do some done for you work. And they're literally nervous to sign with us because they're not sure if their systems can handle the growth through the end of Q4 with the Christmas season coming. So they're like, I don't know, should we just go for it? Should we start in Q4 or in Q1 next year, because they know the effect that our systems, the paid traffic and the automated sales systems have on a business, okay? Because we've proven that time and time and time again. So you've got to understand that. So again, the question here, guys, is not which should you do, but when should you do each? Because you might have something in your business that is ready for paid traffic, but then you might be building something else that's ready for organic traffic. So treat each offer and treat each item in your business or each piece of the value ladder differently. Some might require organic methods, whereas some might require paid methods. It just depends on what's going on with that product or that offer in your business at any given time. So as a general rule of thumb, a startup should use primarily organic methods. An established business should use both to the max. Okay? They should be just go into town on organic and paid methods. A smart business owner will do that. It's not a trade-off for one over the other, okay? It's a this and this type situation. Got it? All right, guys. Whew, man, this has been an awesome conversation. It has been so fun diving into this. Hopefully this helps you think of paid and organic traffic in different ways and recognizing that they are not competing, guys, but they are complementary and have different strengths for different conditions. Okay, so critical to understand here. So I would love to hear your thoughts about paid and organic traffic and what insights came to you as you listened today. We're having a conversation about that over in my free Facebook group, which is called Facebook Ads for Coaches, Course Creators, and Lifestyle Ecom Brands. Also, don't forget about the Marketing Matrix Toolbox. We have some wicked cool resources there with hundreds of hours of marketing content that has been compiled by our guests and a few awesome pieces in there from myself, and it's available to you for free. So go to toolbox.themarketingmatrixpodcast.com to get access to that. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today and awesome getting some clarity on traffic and the different sources, the different organic and paid methods. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram and talk with you about this as well. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My handle is @LisanneMurphyHQ. And tell me what you personally thought about this episode. We're going to be posting it on my profile as well as in the Instagram story as well. So tell me what you thought. I really am curious to know if this gave you some clarity and helped you think about this differently than than all the chatter that's often going on in the marketplace about organic versus paid. So I know that it was a little bit of a misnomer where I was like, okay, we're going to settle this battle once and for all. And people probably predicted that because I'm a paid ad specialist that I was going to be like team paid ads. Well, guys, I'm telling you what, they both win, and it is more about when and understanding those different scenarios. So go out there, crush that traffic, find your dream traffic, and use both of these methods to understand your customer and just crush it in the marketplace. All right, guys, see you later.
Access granted. Access